Hey guys, so my niece's husband came by the other day and brought a little goodie. So he was cleaning out an old shop, and this was back in the corner, laying on the floor. So it's a little crusty on the outside. Um, Latches are here. Have a look. So it's an old Little Giant Greenfield. It used to be a tap and die set. Now it's a die set because all the taps are missing, and sadly the tap handle is also missing. But it's a so number 5. It's got 7 dies. Goes from 1/4 inch to 3/4. It's very crusty. But I think underneath all this dirt, it's actually in pretty good shape. So I'm going to do a cleanup on this and see what we got. I think it's going to clean up halfway decent. There's still, I can still see some colored case hardening here on the die stock. It's definitely had a lot of use. And then check this out. If this will show up. It says here, maintenance department. And January 23rd, 1955. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so as far as the box goes, I want to clean it, but I don't want to take the patina off. I want to leave it there. I just want to get the dirt off of it and try to preserve some of the history, and then we'll see how this cleans up. I think I'm probably going to start with soap and water. I'm going to do the box first. I'm going to be real careful not to mess up the original label here. Yeah. So, anyways, thanks to my niece's husband. Was thinking about me when he saw this. So yeah, great little find. All right. Well, let me get busy cleaning this thing up. Well, this ended up being a pretty deep rabbit hole. So I've only done the bottom piece, and I'm going to let this dry out for a day or two and then see how it looks. It's not too bad, actually. I think with once it's dry, if I can hit it with some linseed oil, might be pretty good. There's still some funk in some of the cracks and crevices, but man, it was tough. I had to break out the oven cleaner. I didn't think it was going to be this nasty, but it was. All right, well, we'll see how this looks when it dries out. So I did a whole bunch of scrubbing on this thing, and it's looking okay. It was really filthy. Obviously this is the top, and I've completely broke it down, took all the hardware off and so forth. This side, so this thing must have been sitting, next to the welding bench or somewhere where sparks were dropping on it, and caused some damage there. But I got all the grease and gunk and stuff off it. A lot of soap and water, purple power, even a little bit of oven cleaner. So there's the top, and then here's the bottom. This thing was just really really filthy. The bottom, not too bad. You know, we got a crack here. Got some, you know, crummy wood right there. But anyways, it's got a lot of character to it. So this is all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do any more. I might take some sandpaper and just where there's frayed edges, just soften those up a little bit. I really don't want to sand it per se. So my next step is going to be to coat this with linseed oil, and you know, which will hopefully bring some of the color back out and make it look nice. I also broke down all the dies. Let's see if you guys can see this. So took all the dies apart, cleaned all the chips out. So I'm going to probably put this in the crock pot and just cook them for a day, you know, to get all the grease and dirt and such off. The good news is all the dies seem to be in good shape. So, you know, we should have a good set here. Just a matter of cleaning. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to film, but anyways, that's we're moving along. This is just kind of a fill-in project. Okay, we'll continue on. Okay, guys, I've had about 4 cups of coffee, so ready to go here. All right, so our little cleanup project has gotten stretched out over several days. So off camera, I went ahead and did the linseed oil treatment on our on the box here, and fairly happy with how it looks. It's you know, this thing's beat up pretty good, but you know, that brought out some of the color and so forth. The top, however, is pretty dark on the top side, and you know, I'm not sure if this is burns or just staining or what have you, but anyways, it's gonna be fine. So the hardware, I went through. Here's the hinges. The hinges are just brass plated steel. We're just going to clean them up and call it good. The little latches here are same thing. They're brass plated steel. Okay. And I went through all my brass wood screws, and I found some appropriate size and newer screws. I'm going to have to reuse a couple, but we're pretty much ready to go. Alright, so I'm going to move on to getting all the dies and those pieces in the crock pot. So I'll bring you back in a few minutes to show you that. Just going to throw everything in my favorite parts cleaning machine here. Alright, I'm just going to let that cook probably 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, and then we'll have a look. Okay guys, this has been cooking for quite a while now, a little longer than I originally planned. Got busy doing other stuff, so it's been about 6 hours, I guess. Let's shut her off here. Let's see if we can take a look at one of these pieces. Okay. That looks pretty good. So what I'll do now is take these over by the sink and wash everything off with hot soapy water, blow it off with some air, and then we'll see what they look like. Alright guys, our parts are out of the crock pot now. I was trying to keep everything together, so I did, partial assembly. But man, it did a fantastic job. And for the most part, all I did was just rinsed them off with some hot water. Really didn't even need any soap. And dried them off, blew them off with some air, and everything came out great. And for the most part, all our dies are in great shape. Everything, all the cutting teeth are really nice looking. Yeah, the die bodies are in good shape. We do have one casualty. So there was 2 3/8 dies in here, and it's kind of, I'm seeing the reason why now. So this one looks like Bubba was using it, and let's see if you guys can see that or not. But anyways, these teeth are all broke up on the back side, which is weird. Okay, but anyways, they're chewed up. Really can't use these. And also somehow they managed to chip the holder as well. So that's probably why they just bought a complete spare. But anyways, this stuff cleaned up really nice. Let me show you these handles. These came out really good. I'll probably just give these a light buffing on the buffer. Oh, here's our big 5/8 die. It came out really nice. Now I do have to pull all these grub screws out. They come out through the inside. I'm going to pull these out, blow them out, and give them some oil. I don't want those to rust in place, although everything just dried right off. That water was really hot. Let's see, our hinges, they're, I mean, they look a little better, but they're still, but you know what? It matches the box, so I'm just going to use them. And our latches, they look fine. So the actual body here, this I just cleaned with mineral spirits. Just spent some time very carefully cleaning it. The case hardening still looks halfway decent. Get a little oil on there, it'll brighten it up a little bit. So at least it's not rusted like a lot of them are, so I can't complain. That looks good. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to clean out all these grub screws, get everything oiled down, and then we'll work on putting it all back together. Alright guys, this project was just taking way too long, so I went ahead and put everything together off camera. I got other stuff I've got to get done, so it was just dragging. So let's have a look here. So here's our latches on the front. It's got new screws in the bottom, reused the screws on the top. And our hinges, ended up just reusing the original hinges. Put new screws in. And I had to laugh. Whoever put the screws in originally or drilled the holes at the factory, it was either their first day on the job or their last day on the job, or one and the same. I mean, this one here was at about a 10-degree angle, maybe a 15-degree angle, and the same thing on the other side over here. So I don't know if you can see both sides or not, but there's our hinges. Okay. All right, well, let's open her up. Alrighty, well, there you go, guys. So it cleaned up fairly well. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at the photos to remember what it looked like, but it was pretty dirty when we got it. The coloring on the die stock here looks really good. Let me screw this in so the die doesn't fall out. The handle's cleaned up fairly decent. Yeah, so, and for the price, can't complain. Yeah, and the dies came out really nice. So I don't know if you can see or not, and I've got a couple other sets of these, but I don't think they have these little witness marks. These are little datum marks, so that and I'm pretty sure that's the factory marked these as the base starting point for adjusting your jaws, or dies, I guess, not jaws. See it a little better on this one here. But yeah, these guys cleaned up nicely. Just oiled everything down. Yeah. So I'm really happy with the way this came out. So definitely glad to have it. We just had the one bad 3/8 die here that Mr. Bubba got a hold of. But there's two 3/8s, so we're covered there. Yeah, it's too bad though. There's supposed to be a 3/4. The 3/4's missing, and of course, all the taps were missing, and the tap handle missing as well. But it's still a nice set. The box is in pretty bad shape, but you know, it tells a story. It's got a lot of history there. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for tagging along and sticking with it here, guys. This thing drug out a lot farther than I was planning. I was just going to do a quick cleanup and put it back in the box, but you know, things got carried away, and here we are. Yeah. Oh, I did put a little bit of cold bluing on the thumb screw here that locks the dies in. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't do any rebluing, and it's not as bright as I'm sure it was when it came out of the factory, but it still looks good. And amazingly, it's not, you know, really rusted like a lot of them are. Yeah. So okay. So anyways, once again, I'll put up some stills at the end here. And thanks again for joining me and sticking with this, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, so here's some bonus viewing for those of you that stuck with it this far. So this is a similar set, it's actually a larger set, newer, Greenfield Little Giant. So the top layer here is the small sizes. Of course all the taps are missing, and several of the dies. There's the small set with the small die stock. I picked this up last year at the Bash. Okay, and then here's the larger ones. You guys can see that okay. And the dies, or collets, whatever you call them, and the die stock, it looks like the exact same as the other set. I just put some oil on here because I have not touched this since I brought it home last year from the Bash. So I need to do a cleanup on this one also. I don't know if I'll film that or not, but yeah, definitely need to clean it up. So anyways, just a comparison. Old versus new. I have one other set, but it's buried. We're not getting that one out tonight. All right, guys. Thanks again.